Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Let's recap. We are in Kathopanishad, part 1, chapter 2, or chapter 2, chapter 1, part 2, whichever way you put it, second Valli. And so we were looking at the Lord begins his spiritual instructions in the verse number 12, and that verse 12 was Tam durdarsham gudham anupravishtam guhahitam gauvarhishtam puranam adhyatma yogadhigamena devam matva dhiro harshashokau jahati. And here it was told that the wise one, who is this wise one? The wise one is who renounces joys and sorrows. And how does he renounce joys and sorrows? He does that by meditating on the self. And thus, by meditating on the self, the adhyatma adhigamena devam, and that divine reveals himself to him in the where guha hitam, and it reveals that divine reveals him itself in the heart of this wise person. And who is this? Here it is tam durdarsham. It is not easy to be seen, which is meaning it is beyond form, it is beyond any attributes, it is beyond any qualities. That divine, see, it is very easy for Ram, Krishna, Shiva to come and you focus on the photograph for some time, it will come into your mind. But we are talking about that Brahman, that Parabrahma Paramatma, the absolute reality. And he says that that it is hidden in the cave of our heart, and he dwells in the cave of our heart. And where is he seated in the heart? He is seated in the midst of all miserable thoughts. Now understand, all thoughts of the world are miserable. They lead to joys and sorrows. So miserable, so joyful thoughts? No. From this point of view, joy is also a miserable, the thought of joy and experience of joy is also a miserable experience. Why? Because it comes and goes. Anything that comes and goes is misery. So here, therefore he says, Matva dhiro harsha shokau jahati. Dhira is the wise person. And thus, in this manner, after having told this, then we came to the 13th verse. Etat shrutva एतत् श्रुत्वा सम्परिगृह्य मर्त्यः प्रवृह्य धर्म्यमणुमेतमाप्य समोदते मोदनीयं हि लब्ध्वा विवृतं सद्म नचिकेतसं मन्ये. And anyone, any student, you, me, our mind, having etat shrutva, having heard this. What heard what? Heard what was told before in the previous verse. Every word is important here. Having heard, and then having heard and forgotten. No, having heard and consolidated. How do you consolidate it? By heard, having heard is shravanam. Then what is the next step? Mananam, reflection. What is reflection? Reflection is whatever you have heard, you think about in such a way how it is your direct experience, and whatever doubts are coming with regards to what you have heard must be removed. Instead of saying how what you have heard is difficult, many people, today only someone took me out for lunch and he said, Swamiji, yeah, it's so easy, but very quickly, the moment I leave you, after I go away, again my mind will be in the worldly things. I said, you have already pre-programmed your mind that after meeting me, after talking to me, after having had this wonderful conversation, when you go away, you are going to forget everything because you just not told me already. So you have already given a suggestion to the mind that, hey, mind, this is a wonderful experience when you are with a teacher. But once you go away from a satsang, it's just again back to the norm, back to the misery, back to the world, back to being the slave of the mind, back to reactions. And this we think, when we say it with great pride, it was wonderful, we are proud that we understood everything. And after understanding everything, when we move away from the satsang, we forget everything. What's there to be proud about that? Why don't we know that we forget it? Why you have to keep repeating it? Why would you have to make a joke out of it? Etat shrutva. Etat shrutva samparigruhya martyaha. So, having heard shravanam, mananam, remove all doubts with regards to what you have heard. So what have you heard? That this reality is in the cave, reveals itself in the cave of your heart, and it is sitting in the midst of all miseries. ढूंढो उसको. Don't know if it is in the toe. No, but the heart is not in the toe. Acha, why did I go searching for the toe? Why did I relax the body? I should come to the heart. Where is the heart? Oh, my heart is in the left side. Oh, but we did not talk about the physical heart. We talked about the spiritual heart. Now, where do you look for the heart? Oh, Raman Maharishi said it is just here on the right hand side. No, you take one location. If it helps. What did we tell you? It's between the breath, between the thoughts. It is, the heart is between Sat and Asat, between real and unreal, in between the in-breath and the out-breath, between the waking and the sleep. Catch it. Catch it. But it's not outside. That heart is not outside. It is Initially, you have to access it within, and when you get absorbed in it, then where is it? Then it is the only thing. Then it is the only thing. This is the beauty. This is the wonderfulness of our scriptures. Scriptures, wonderfulness of our Upanishads. So, uh, so having heard, then Shravanam Mananam. Then what happens? When we are continuously, single pointedly, without any, as your doubts reduce with regards to what you have heard, to that, directly proportional to that, is your single pointedness, is your focus. Ekagrata keeps increasing. Why our ekagrata is not there? Because we allow doubts to come and hijack our mind, hijack us, or hijack our mind. So contemplate in such a way. Our approach should be in such a way not to disprove what we have heard in a satsang, but our thinking, our deliberation must be in such a manner in Mananam that whatever we have heard, let me find out how it is true. Is it that it is absolutely untrue all the time? Let me find out. Positive approach. And when we do that, what happens? As your doubts reduce, your single pointedness increases. Do I have to remove every doubt? Do you have to remove every doubt?
No.
Then what do you have to do?
Focus on the higher.
Sorry, my volume was low. Say again.
Focus single pointedly on the higher.
Yes, focus on the higher. You don't remove the world from your mind before going to sleep. You just focus on the sleep, isn't it? Without any doubt, with full faith. Exactly the same way. You focus on that heart. Where it is, I don't know, but it will reveal. Go within. Some places it said intellect is the heart. Some Raman Maharishi says on the left side, right side of your sternum is the heart. That is the lymphatic node or something is there. I gave you just few examples. What is the heart? These are just ways to access it. Point is, your mind must become focused, your mind must become single pointed without any doubt. To remove doubts, you need faith. So reflection, mananam, has to happen with faith. Then only ekagrata will come. Do you need 100% ekagrata? Or from the flip side of it, do you need 100% of removal of doubts? No. Just as a heap of grass, when it is lighted fire from one end, the fire keeps spreading, and a critical heat is created as it is spreading. A critical heat is created within that mound of grass, and suddenly spontaneous combustion, and the entire mound of grass catches fire. Exactly the same thing happens in us. How long we'll have to keep focusing? How long we'll have to keep thinking of the truth? Till you vanish. Till you, as the seeker, vanishes. How long you have to think of sleep? as long as you have not slept, as long as the waker does not vanish. See, it's that simple. You have the technique, you have the capacity, you have the ability, you have the methodology, but you are not putting it in the right direction. That's all. You put it in the right direction. Don't create unnecessary complications where there are no complications. Don't create unwanted questions where there are no questions to be asked. You have no question about your being, so be. Questions come to only to a person who doesn't want to focus on the self, who doesn't want to be single pointed, who is harboring, who is having lack of faith. Such a person has questions. Don't be a questionable personality. Instead, what do you need? As Shirdi Sai Baba says, Shraddha and Saburi. Have increase your faith, not in this or that, in the absolute one, in the words of the scriptures. Have absolute faith. You have absolute faith in sleep, which you have never known directly. Only indirectly you know. Because there is no one in the sleep. So how can you know? See the game that we play with ourselves in our own mind and confuse ourselves by our own mind and then ask questions by our own mind and look for answers from other people's mind. Hey, Bewkoof, are we idiots or what? See, what clarification do you want? What answers do you want from outside? It's the lazy person's way to be a spiritual sadhak. What is the lazy person's way to be a spiritual sadhak? Ask questions. Why? Because they don't find the acumen, the inner strength, the inner faith to seek answers to their own questions. They don't want to become available to the answer within. Wherever the question has come from, there alone the answer is waiting. But we don't want to focus. We don't want to be available. We don't want to have faith because we have faith in our questions. We have faith in our doubts. We have faith in our intellect. We have faith in the outside world. I'm saying it bluntly. Whether you like it or you don't like it, who cares? But until and unless we don't become responsible for our own, until unless we don't fall into this mindset that nobody can give me answers to my questions. How many questions have I asked till now in my life? Have I become satisfied by all the answers? Still questions. There's no end to them. And if some questions have been answered, there are 100 more questions waiting to pop up. So when does that end? When does question and answer end? Are you going to go around and ask everyone, tell me how to sleep, tell me how to sleep, tell me how to sleep, I am not able to sleep, tell me how to sleep? And then someone says, okay, take this tablet. You go to sleep. After some time, you get immune to the tablet also. Now what do I do? Tell me how to sleep. Increase the dose. After that, can anybody, forget the tablet part, can anybody teach you how to sleep? You have to sleep by yourself. You have to create the condition in your mind. You have to be ready to surrender to nothing. So you are ready to surrender to ignorance, nothingness, emptiness. And you are not ready to surrender to the divine. Yaar, what type of persons we are? Fools of the highest order. We are. See? So no questions. So make your mind single pointed, and then contemplating on this infinite pure consciousness within his heart. So Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. When our mind becomes single pointed, it before it merges, before it becomes one with it, before it surrenders completely to it, it is thinking again and again and again and again and again. Just like we keep thinking of questions again and again and again. We think of the Atman, we think of the pure consciousness. What is consciousness? Who is this consciousness? Where is this consciousness? I am that consciousness. Oh my God, then why, if I am the consciousness, why am I asking someone else? If I am the consciousness, then why am I thinking I am the consciousness? If I am the consciousness, then why am I seeking consciousness? If I am consciousness, if I am already of the nature of conscious, because that is my experience at this very moment, I want to know it completely, fully, as it is. So he contemplates on that infinite spirit, and as he becomes single pointed, where he lands up is the samadhi. And then he says to Nachiket, "Oh Nachiket, you are absolutely focused on that infinite absolute reality. You are available to that reality. And the door to that reality is completely open for you. It's waiting for you to enter. Is it a doorway in a house? No. Is it a doorway to some loka, a plane of experience? Bhurbhuva Swatapa Janamaha Satyam? No. Saket, Kailash, Vaikunt? No. What is it? What is that doorway? When you are feeling sleepy, you are thinking of sleep, and someone says, when a child is being lulled into sleep, oh my darling, you are just about to sleep. Come on, let go, dive into it, surrender to it. The sleep is waiting to grab you. The sleep is waiting to embrace you. Such stories the mothers tell the child. What do you do then? It's like that. that the sleep is waiting to embrace you. The self is waiting to, the absolute self is waiting to embrace. It is open because you are available, because you have faith, because you are ekagra, you are single pointed, because you have no doubt about that, because you are not lured by any temptations in this manifest or gross or subtle world. देखो, all these conditions we have to cultivate by imbibing the character of Nachiket within us. Then, when the last breath comes, the Lord of Death will tell us, the truth is the abode of reality, the absolute reality. There is no abode, but it's a language, it's a way of speaking. The abode of reality is waiting to embrace you, my dear. Even if this happens with the last breath, it's a life well lived. If it happens while living, very rare are the people. But it has many, there are many of them who have achieved that while living. Now don't say, oh, but we are papi, we are, don't get into all that. Get fired up. That fired up is the Nachiket Agni. That is the Vaishwanara Agni. Being fired up. Being fired up is that focus. The intensity of that focus is a relaxed relaxed intensity. It is not a willful one. It is willfulness coupled with joy. Not willfulness coupled with hatred for the world, dislike for the world, coupled with will I or will I not. No doubts, no questions. So this focus needs to be, this understanding needs to be, this availability needs to be with faith, but with joy, with a relaxed, cool intensity. If you tighten up, if you become agitated, I have to sleep, you will never be able to sleep. This is stressed focus. So how do you surrender to sleep? It's relaxed focus on the sleep, which has got no form, which has got no quality. You are already doing it. We are asking you to do it consciously. Who surrenders? The mind surrenders. Who gets absorbed? The mind gets absorbed. Do it consciously. Recreate the conditions. Such person who is able to do this is the where are we? Is the wise one. And he says, Vivrutam Sadma Nachiketa Sammanye, and I believe, I feel that abode of Brahman is wide open to welcome you, my dear. And with this, when our Nachiket heard these words from nectar like words dripping from the lips of the Lord of Death. Oh, what thrill must be there! It is the first time the Lord of Death, the teacher, is saying, is accepting him as the student. Till now, he has never accepted. He is giving him instructions, he is luring him, he is tempting him. But first time he says, the abode of reality is wide open for you, Nachiket. In other words, you are ready, man. You are ready. I remember many years ago, I did fire walking. And in that fire walking, first we had to psych ourselves that fire is cool. Fire is not hot, fire is cool. Fire is not hot, fire is cool. Walking on fire is like walking on clouds. Walking on fire is like walking on ice cubes. Walking on fire is like walking on sand, cool sand. And when we were psyched up enough, and the teacher, the instructor, all he did was looked at our eyes, and he knew whether we have a doubt. Thought still comes, but are we ready to go beyond that doubt? That instructor had that acumen to see in the eye of someone. Now here there is about 15 feet long pit with fire, 1,000 degrees, and he looks into your eyes and he says, go. He looks into your eyes, go. If he says, no, you wait, not now. No, I can. No, wait. And maybe very next moment, okay, go. Why? He sees what is in your eyes. So you have been practicing. For what? For that moment. 2 hours of preparation, and in 5 minutes it's all over. No, it takes only not even 10 seconds, 15 seconds to take those 15, 17 steps. And literally, it was as if we are walking on cool ash. But you tell someone who has never done it, which was us before. And when he said, go, at that time we didn't get excited. Oh, I am selected to walk on the fire. Oh no, you have to maintain that poise. You have to maintain that focus. You have to maintain your mind to be doubt free, free of excitement, free of fear, free of any distraction. Same thing is our Nachiket also. Instead of getting excited, but imagine when the Lord of Death himself is saying the abode of Brahman is open to you, my dear boy. गुलछर्रे उड़ रहे होंगे अंदर. What must be his state of mind? He did not allow himself to be distracted by excitement. Just like we did not allow our mind to be distracted by excitement when we were told by the instructor, go, you are ready. See? Those dancers, music, singers, so many years of practice, and then the teacher says, go, you do your arangetram, you give the performance, you are ready for it now. See? Something similar happened. We were in New Zealand and we went to one Indian temple, and Only 10, 15 people were there, and Swamiji was in Wellington, and Swamiji was supposed to give a lecture in Hindi. And he said, I don't, why don't you give the lecture? I said, Swamiji, I come to listen to you. Will you be okay? Yeah, I'll be okay. I said, he says, I will listen. You're okay if I listen to your lecture? Now, if he's saying, are you okay if I listen to your lecture? I could not say yes or no. I said, whatever your wish, Swamiji. And he sat. And first 5 minutes, words will not come out of my mouth. See? But once the flow began, it began. See? I was not ready at that time. First 5 minutes, I was not ready. So this is the readiness we are talking about. And that readiness is free from excitement, free from fear, free from doubts, which he has already gone beyond, because we also do it sometimes, many times during the day. We come to those moments where we are free of doubt, free of questions. We are absolutely in the moment, in tune with nature, in tune with ourselves, full of faith. But very next moment, we allow that availability, that focus to be watered down. We allow our mind to be distracted. We allow doubts to enter, because we have not learned how to maintain that poise. Or you know and you have maintained that poise, but you have not put it in the right direction. Because you have the poise, you are taking care of your health every day, you are eating breakfast, lunch, dinner every day, you are taking care of your family every day. It is poise, it is single pointed focus. But we have not applied that poise, applied that focus towards the higher, as it was told in the previous verse. So when we cultivate that, when we develop that, Nachiket has developed it. So even such wonderful words from the teacher, the Lord Death, are coming to his ears. He is not excited. Instead, what does he say? Now he wants more clarity. These are all preparatory stages. He wants clarity. What is the clarity? अन्यत्र धर्माद अन्यत्र अधर्माद अन्यत्र अस्मात् कृताकृतात् अन्यत्र भूताच्च भव्याच्च यत्तत् पश्यसि तद्वद. This is the clarity he wants. He wants to refine. He wants to refine his attention. He wants to refine his mind. Refined jaggery is raw sugar. Refined raw sugar is white sugar. But it's all the same thing. It's the same. It's all sweet. But which one is healthy? We'll not go in that direction. So he wants to refine in his mind because he's focused. He's focused on what? He's focused in the cave of his heart, that which is the most ancient, eternal substratum of everything. And therefore he asks, he says, So he asked questions with regards. Huh, yeah, what is that? That which you see. He says, I am not asking, I don't want you to repeat the words which I have heard from my teacher. I don't want you to repeat the words which I have read in the various books, various scriptures. I want to hear from you, O Guru Maharaj, that which is your direct experience. What do you see? What do you see which is beyond righteousness and unrighteousness? What is that which is beyond cause and effect? Anyatra asmat, kruta kruta, that which is beyond, transcendental, untouched, supporting the substratum of, foundation of, on which all the doing and undoing comes and goes. All the righteousness and unrighteous comes and goes. All cause and effect come and goes. What is that which you see? Anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha. Anyatra bhuta bhavyacha. Bhuta, past. So, bhavya, future. So where there is past and future, there will be present also. Can you have present if there is no past or future? You take one out, nothing is present. All the three collapse. So what is that which you see, which is supporting yet untouched? I'm using the words. What is that which is supporting past, present and future, but untouched by past, present and future? What is that which is supporting waking, dream, deep sleep, but untouched by waking, dream and deep sleep? What is waking and deep sleep? Dream and deep sleep? Cause and effect. Sleep is the cause, waking and dream is the effect. So what is that which is other than supporting these three, but beyond these three? What is that? Dharma, adharma, vice and virtue, virtue and vice. What is that which is beyond the two? In other words, what is that which is beyond satya, asatya, truth and untruth? What is that which is beyond existence and non-existence? What is that which is supporting consciousness and no consciousness, but is absolute consciousness? What is that which is supporting joy or no joy, ananda or dukkham, but untouched by both? What is that? What is that which is beyond subject and object? What is that which is beyond duality, O teacher? He wants clarity. To ask these questions, the student is, the teacher has already told you, the abode of absolute reality is waiting to embrace you. Nachiketa is also available, but something is stopping him. How do I get there? How do I become available? This is objective orientation. He still feels that he needs clarity. He still hasn't accepted the magnanimity, the all-inclusiveness of the absolute reality. And that reality is not only outside, everywhere, but is also in and through him. He wants to know, like we all, that's why we have come to the satsang. We also want to know. We are hearing it also. It's sounding wonderful also. Even as I'm speaking, I'm enjoying. Mind is enjoying, but I can't allow my mind to enjoy too much. Otherwise, I'll deviate from the topic. I have to maintain that poise. As much as you as listeners have to maintain that poise. So we know it is there. We know that whenever we are told it is beyond the past, present, future, because I know past, present, future are there, then who knows it? the the yesterday's me cannot know it, tomorrow's me cannot know it, today's me cannot know it, because even this moment is being revealed, is being supported by someone. I am the presence. Just as the waker, dreamer, sleeper is supported by the higher, the Turyavastha, the absolute one, the Sakshi Chaitanya, the eternal witness. But when we look for it, because we don't want to surrender our mind, we want to know it like I am knowing you, like I am seeing you, like I am hearing or you are hearing me. So, is there a way to know, to access? How do you focus on that which doesn't have a form, which doesn't have any quality? How do you focus and think about that which is beyond all opposites? How do you do it? It's a conundrum, isn't it? He's at his wit's end. Yes, I'm available. You are saying that I'm available. But how do I? This is our question also. How do I? अन्यत्र धर्मात् अन्यत्र धर्मात् अन्यत्र अस्मात् कृता कृतात् अन्यत्र भूताच्च भव्याच्च यत् तत् पश्यसि तद्वद. By heart it. When you go for a walk, keep thinking, who's walking? My body is walking. Who knows? I know. Go back. What is that which is beyond all opposites, all duality, all dualism? I'm purposely repeating all this again because without this foundation, foundation, the next two verses that are going to come, not next two, the what was that was 16th and 17th. 16th and 17th or 15th or 16th? 15th and 16th. That is the heart of this Upanishad. That is the heart of the Upanishad. So what is that which is beyond all? What is that which is beyond light and darkness? The sun. There is a glass of water, a tumbler with half of the milk. Some people will say it is half full, some people will say it is half empty. So every person in this world, you can go to Acharyas, you can go to Mahatmas, you can go to Upanishads. That's what the next week verse is going to come. They are all indicating that. Someone is saying it this way, someone is saying it that way. But what is it really? I don't want opinions. I don't want, I believe it is like, no, I don't want that. He says, you are Lord of death. And you have told me that the doors to the absolute reality are open for me to enter. For you to have made that statement, you must be seeing. What do you see? And he's not asking for some abode. He's not asking for some plane of experience. This is the greatness of this student. The moment we say abode of Brahman, for the devotees, Brahman is Vaikuntha. For Ram Bhaktas, Brahman, the absolute reality is Saket. For Shiva Bhaktas, the reality is Kailash. He says, no, I don't want to enter. I'm not talking about that. I want, because then Kailash is of Lord Shiva, then Vaikuntha is of Narayana, Saket is of Ram, and Satyalok is of Brahmaji. There will be competition, man. Which one is better? Think. No, I don't want that. What is that which is the cause of all causes? Every effect must have a cause. You are the effect, parents are the cause. Parents were the effect, their parents were the cause, and it goes on back. Goes to the back. Which Gotra you belong to? We belong to Atri Gotra, or Bhardwaj Gotra, or Vashishta Gotra. Acha. So the cause is that Vashishta Rishi. What is the cause of Vashishta Rishi or Atri Rishi or Bhardwaj Rishi? Brahmaji. They are mind-born sons of Brahmaji. So Brahmaji is the cause. What is the cause of Brahmaji? Narayana is the cause of Brahmaji. What is the cause of the Narayana himself? What is the cause of Narayana himself? No words. Then Dakshinamurti begins. Only silence. I can't say anything. Because Narayana is with a reference to Lakshmi. Again, duality. Narayana cannot exist by himself. So, who is the cause of those two? Who is the cause of Shiva and Shakti? Oh, Deva Paramashiva. Who is Paramashiva? We can't tell you. Then how will I come to know? You have to discover within your heart. So in this way, our Nachiket here in this verse, he says, Yat tat pashyasi, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha yat tat pashyasi tadvada. Tell me that, what you see. Don't tell me what you have read. Don't tell me what others have told you. Don't tell me what is given in the scriptures. Tell me what you see. And he has made it very clear. That which is beyond virtue and vice, that which is beyond cause and effect, that which is beyond doing and undoing, that which is beyond past and future. Beyond, in other words, beyond all opposites. To that, again he says here, सर्वे वेदा यत्पदमामनन्ति तपांसि सर्वाणि च यद्वदन्ति यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति तत्ते पदं संग्रहेण ब्रवीम्योम ओमिति एतत्. Yamraji said that sarve veda yat padam amananti. All the Upanishads, how many Upanishads are there? Veda, when we are talking about Veda, we are not talking about the Brahman part and the Upasana part. We are talking about Vedanta, that is the Upanishads. That is the crux. That is the crown of the Vedas. That is Vedanta. So Vedas, full of words. Vedanta, where no word reaches. Where is it given? Where is the technology and the vision given to reach where no word reaches? In the Veda, in the four Vedas. And what are four Vedas? Nothing but words. Veda, Vedanta, Veda Anta. In other words, end of all language, end of all articulation, end of all alphabets. That is Vedanta. Sarve, and such way, all these Vedas, 108 Vedas. We are going to look at 9, and if Lord inspires, maybe we'll take Chandogya and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So what is, so sarve veda yat padam amananti. So that goal which all the Upanishads declare, amananti, proclaim, huh? So that goal, that ultimate destination, which the Vedas declare and proclaim, all the tapasyas proclaim, sarvani tapansi cha yad vadanti. All penances, all tapasyas proclaim and indicate or are for that purpose. And yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti, and wishing which all people desire brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is of two types. One is at a physical level, where one remains celibate throughout his life, or whenever he makes that decision, from that point onwards he remains celibate. And the other brahmacharya is brahmacharati, means you start walking the path to Brahman. And how do you do that? Yes, you can do it within yourself, no doubt, but so many distractions. So you go and under the tutelage of a teacher, of a acharya, or a mahatma in an ashram, or at his abode, and serve him, and he guides. First he checks, tests, and eventually guides. Brahmacharati iti brahmachar. So you walk that path where the only obsession in your mind is being that infinite reality. It's a good obsession. Right now our obsession is wanting to possess that which can never be possessed, which is this world, which is this sansar. Oh, so can we possess the reality? No, that also you cannot possess. तेरी की फिर क्या फायदा है वेदांत पढ़ के? What is the purpose of studying Vedanta then, if we cannot possess that reality? You cannot possess because it is not other than you. It is you. Or what? It is not other than me. Yes. So all the Vedas through Karma Kand, activity of puja, havan, etc., come to upasana, where you focus your mind by thinking about the Saguna Brahma, the Lord, the Hiranyagarbha, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Ganapati, Kartikeya, blah blah. So many of them are there. Choose whichever suits you. Choose whoever offers himself to you. Choose whichever grabs your imagination and you chant his name, chant his mantra. Narayana Suktam, Ganapati Atharva, Shri Suktam, Medha Suktam, Durga Suktam, Surya Upanishad, and so many things are there. But important, become focused. When you were in the Brahmana part, you were doing puja havan outside. You needed so many things, so many ingredients to do to perform the exercise. But when it comes to the various suktas, rudram, etc., you don't need anything. It's in your mind. So from outside, you have gone inside. And when your mind is sufficiently quietened down, has come to accept, has become, got detached from the world of names and forms and has got attached to the divine with the form. It's okay. Now, if it is, because it is single pointed, it is focused. Now there is a possibility that you can go from divinity with form to beyond, that is divinity without form, the absolute reality. Because so many gods are there. And we, from childhood, every Indian knows there is only one God appearing as many. So why did not we choose the one? Because we didn't know how. Why did you not know how? Because it doesn't have a name and form. And my mind is used to focusing with name and form, interacting with name and form. So I gave up the name and form of the world and I chose the name and form of the divine Lord, Saguna Brahman, and focused on it. And when I become focused on it, I see Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva. I see that one divine is none other than my essence. I'm able to appreciate it, that how one reality alone is expressing through all. How one space alone has become the space of various countries. How one light alone has become the 7 colors. How one gold has become the many ornaments. How one water has become the many waves and oceans. Or I should say, not one water, how one ocean is supporting all the waves. In that one, all the waves are coming and going, but the ocean remains the same. I have come to that. Now I want to know what is the cause of the ocean. Not one ocean, all the oceans. So we moved from individuality to totality. Now we want to take the jump into the absolute. For that absolute, the Upanishads come into our life. They don't come to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Don't think that you have come to the Upanishad. Upanishads have come to grace us. If you are understanding, if your ears are open and listening, if you are understanding even little bit of it, it is only the grace of the Shruti Mata. It is the grace of the divine. Life has tested you. And has brought you to this juncture in your life today. Where your ears are available, exposed to the highest truth that has been ever revealed to any man. And that is the Upanishads. And what are these Upanishads saying? Go beyond us. The answer is not in the book. The answer is not in the word. The answer is not in the mind. The answer is not in the intellect. You are the answer to yourself. You are the answer to yourself. Wow. I am the answer to myself. Without how? Where? When? I don't know how to hold on to that which has got no form and no dimensions. I am answer to myself. I am that consciousness. I am that reality. And I can't think about it. And I am the support of the totality and individuality. And yet I am independent of totality and individuality. Yes. Then how do I access it? He is telling, remember, Lord of Death is instructing Nachiket. Through Nachiket, he is instructing us. Sarve Veda Yat Padam Amananti Tapansi Sarvani Chayad Vadanti Yadichantur Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi Omiti Etata. Lord of Death says, how to, I am not going to give you a big lecture on it. I am going to tell you, Tatte Padam Sangrahena. I am going to tell you briefly. Just as you are enjoying listening to the satsang, when we were in the ashram, we also enjoyed listening to our teacher, Acharya ji. And when the 2 years were coming to a close, we felt we can keep listening to this for the rest of our life. Sitting at the feet of our Acharya. Tears rolling down our cheeks. Because last 6 months, all we did was Upanishads. one after the other. But it's not possible. It's not possible. The answer is within. Answer is not in the teacher. Answer is not in the book. The book is indicating. It's saying the answer is with you. You yourself are the answer. The teacher is saying you yourself are the answer. Om iti etat. How do you access it? Here he says, I am going to tell you in very brief. And padam, the word padam, he says here that he says it's a way, it's a place, it's a goal, it's a destination, it's a and so on. And what is that? Om iti etat. It is Om. Now the next two verses. Next verse. And the next verse. This verse and this next verse. These two are the important ones. So it is Om. And what is this Om? Naturally, that will be the question. What is this Om? So here he says in the _16. And also understand one thing. Om, it is only found, it is not given in any of the Vedas except in the Yajur Veda. And in the Yajur Veda, it comes in the Taittiriya Samhita, Taittiriya Upanishad. In that, the Om word comes. Where is the book? I don't have the book here, otherwise I would have chanted it out for you. So it's not there in Atharva Veda, it is not there in what do you call, in Rig Veda, it is in Yajur Veda in the Taittiriya Samhita. So here the Lord of Death is giving giving the symbol Om. He says it is represented by the symbol Om. Is Om a word? Is Om an alphabet? Is Om transcendental? Is Om a part of the relativity? Is Om in my mouth? Is Om in my mind? What is this Om? How can something that I am chanting with my mouth, Om, how can something, you only said, Yato vacho nivartante, you only said that the truth is beyond the word, and yet you are giving me a word. Om is not a word. Om is a symbol. What do you mean Om is a symbol? I take a piece of paper and I write pencil. I write pencil. Pencil. The word pencil is here in the book alphabets, and it gives you an idea. Pencil, that is what it is. I have to, with which we write, with which we communicate. By we can write the words, and the pencil can come in different colors, this, that. If I write the word animal, suddenly so many different animals will come in front. That word indicates something. Is this Om which indicates the reality? Is this word Om something like that? Like I'm here writing pencil and I understand what pencil is. It is there somewhere. It is there in my shelf. I can use it. I use the word animal. Next question will be which animal? What is it, the reptilian or the ovarian, dvipad, chatushpad? Four-legged, two-legged. We are also animals only. which one? So many questions will come after that. So is Om, because we write OM, is Om something like that? Is Om something like that? So, already, because the teacher is such who already susses the question that is going to come into your mind. So, in answer to that possible question, so the rishis of yore, to whom all this knowledge was revealed, remember, Vedas are Shruti. Shruti means that which was heard. By whom? There is no person who revealed to them. So, in their search, in their pursuit of perfection, the saints and sages of yore, there is no order for any Veda. It is only question of self-perfection, total focus, the urge, the faith to be all that there is. That's the epitome of perfection, which can never be removed. Ravan also wanted immortality. Those who do cosmetic surgery, they also want to remain eternally 16, at least while they are living. Not possible. Afterwards, the layer of skin comes off, or Botox, the lips become ugly, or cancer comes. But this pursuit of perfection, the pursuit of immortality, it is ingrained in every one of us. Every one of us, yes. Human beings. Which human beings? Sattvic human beings. Tamasic people, they want but they will not work towards it. Rajasic people, they want but they get distracted by the world very quickly. But it is the sattvic person. Who is the sattvic person? Who has, like Nachiket, who has the acumen, the inner strength faith to be single pointed, without getting distracted, without entertaining unwanted doubts about the world. So, to them, to such rishis who had practiced like this years after years after years, to them this was revealed. What was revealed? It's a revelation. Om was revealed. Yes, it was, all the Vedas were revealed, and Om is part of one of the Vedas, in one of the Samhita. And so, on one hand, see, just like when we look at Krishna, on one hand, he represents the infinite ability. He is the substratum of everything. He is the Parabrahma Paramatma. Or Lord Shiva also, for that matter. And on the other hand, he is the how should I say? He is the on one hand, he is the idol to whom you are praying, to who has a particular form. Many people don't even know what he stands for, who he is. They just go matha tek ke aate hain bhaiya. Kahan? Kedarnath, Badrinath. Let's prostrate, prostrate, prostrate. So he is the idol. And on the other hand, for someone who knows a little bit more, when he says, in Ganapati Atharva it comes, avavaktaram, avashrotaram, avadhataram, avadhataram, avanochanam, avashishyam, avapaschataat, avapurastaat, avottaraataat, avadakshinaataat. So who is this Ganesh? Who is in the front? Who is in the back? Who is up? Who is down? He is the one because of whom hearing is possible, and so on. Seeing is possible, tasting is possible. In other words, initially he begins that, then he says, why am I using so many words? You are everything that there is. You are everywhere. This is the conclusion. You are everywhere. So on one hand, Ganesha with the big ears and the elephant face with the trunk, big tummy and all that. It's an idol. For some people, it's only the idol. For some people, he indicates the infinite reality. Gajadan Maharaj, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. So from the form of Ganesha, some sadhakas, they move to the name of Ganesha. From the name of Ganesha, they go beyond the name. What is going beyond the name? Vedanta. Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, Para. What is Para? Vedanta. छोड़ेंगे नहीं हम तुम्हें. See? So what is Om? Om is a symbol of the absolute reality on one hand, and on the other hand, it indicates the reality. What is to be done with it? घर में सब जगह ओम ओम लिखें, लिखो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. As long as your mind gets single pointed, fantastic. Write if you have to write. Then he says, etadhyevaksharam brahma, etadhyevaksharam param, etadhyevaksharam nyatva, yo yadichyati tasya tata. I leave what I said today, that Om is the symbol of absolute reality, and the Om indicates the reality. We will expand on that through this 16th verse in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Sit for a few moments.